Are you a people pleaser? So, a people pleaser is generally someone who puts others' needs ahead of their own and generally to a fault. So, where does this people pleasing behavior trait stem from? So, generally, it can stem from unhealed traumas, so memories that haven't been healed yet. And these memories can generally link to things like a fear of rejection, a fear of abandonment. It can be memories from your upbringing where your emotions were neglected, or you've observed your parents or siblings or people you knew growing up putting their needs second compared to everyone else. And so they're the kind of things where it can come from, but it will show up in your life that you constantly saying yes to people. You have a really hard time saying no. You don't want to let other people down. You don't want to disappoint them, things like that. So the first thing to recognize in the healing process is that it stems from unhealed memories. And there are techniques available where you can learn how to heal these memories. And when you heal the memory, it's going to go a long way to help solving that trait. It's the first part of solving it is to heal the memory. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that our memory is linked to our belief system, and our belief system tells us what we think is normal, or what our kind of go-to responses are in a given situation. Even in our brain, we know we shouldn't do it, our belief system will always kind of overrule what's going on in our brain. And so we want to go back and find the memories that are linking to the belief system so we can change that response or that behavior. So that's the first thing. Heal the memories that are linking to the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, or the memories where you've got family members or certain people putting their emotions and needs second and putting everyone else first. We've got to go back and heal those memories. That's part one. The second part is you've got to learn how to listen to your intuition. So sometimes you'll hear me refer to it as your authentic self. You've got to learn to listen to your authentic self, that inner knowing. Because it's always right, and its job is to keep you safe and to guide you, it'll tell you when to say yes to people and when to say no. Because I'm not saying don't try and please people ever, because it's part of being like a caring human and having empathy, as we like to help people. But everything in life has got to be in balance. And so what we've got to make sure is that we're not listening only to the brain, because what the brain does, it creates these all or nothing rules. So the brain will say help everyone, or it will say no to everyone. So it does this all or nothing type of thing. Whereas what we're meant to do is every time someone asks us something, we're meant to go in and check with our intuition and say, hey, authentic self, or hey, intuition, should I say yes to this person's request or should I say no? Right? And so we kind of deal with things case by case. So it's really important to learn how to use the intuition to help us make the decision of what we say yes to. Otherwise, our default response will kick in. And if we've got the unhealed memory, then the unhealed memory will kind of link to the unwanted behavior. What makes this difficult is a thing called toxic empathy. Right? So empathy is our ability to feel other people's feelings. So we have these things inside of us called mirror neurons, and these mirror neurons basically mirror what someone else is feeling back into our body. So we can basically feel what they're feeling. And for those of us who are people pleasers, we can feel when another person wants our help, or when another person is feeling down, we want to make them feel good. All right, and where the toxic empathy is where our empathy kicks in and we want to help them, but there's no intuition telling us when we shouldn't do it. Right, so the empathy connects to the other person, it wants to help, and there's kind of no filter inside of us saying when we should stop or when we should kind of balance ourselves out. All right, so toxic empathy is we're using empathy, but we're not using intuition at the same time. Whereas what you need to do is, yes, have empathy, so you can feel what another person is feeling and when they need help and stuff like that. But then you got to use your intuition to tell you if you should take action on it in that time or not. All right, so to summarize the people-pleasing trait, we want to heal the memories that are making us do it. So there's techniques available for that. Heal the memories that link to the people-pleasing. The second thing, listen to your intuition. So every time someone asks you to do something, check in with your intuition. Ask your authentic self if you should do it or not. And the third thing is be mindful of the toxic empathy. Don't allow your empathy and your caring nature to always pull you into the situation and think you need to say yes all the time just because you're a caring person. You need to have that filter. And keep in mind, everything in life works in balance. So we shouldn't be saying yes all the time or no all the time. It's case by case, and we need to be using our intuition to figure that out. All right, guys, hope that helps. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.